Hey everyone, I just thought I'd make a video about my thoughts and feelings on the current state of one of my favorite consoles, the Sony PlayStation. While I do game on just about all kinds of consoles out there, PlayStation's pretty much been my main since the PS1 days. I have fond memories of growing up with PlayStation being the central hub for most of the games I played. I've had discussions with friends and family from my early school childhood days all the way up to now, and it's pretty easy to say that I live, breathe, and eat PlayStation. So with all that being said, got a few topics I do want to go over that have actually kind of changed my thoughts about PlayStation, and usually I'm pretty quiet about these things. I just kind of lurk on social media, but some of the changes that have been coming out lately have actually got me to be more vocal and probably participate and engage with the community more than I usually do. So yeah, there's a few topics I want to go over. The first and probably the most obvious one that most everyone has probably seen in the past month or two is the price increases. This doesn't just affect PlayStation. We've seen this with Xbox, and we've also seen it with the Switch too. But more importantly, with the PlayStation, the prices have gone up to a point where I believe it might be hard for them to maintain their huge market share, or at least what I think. I don't know. I mean, gamers these days, I guess they'll just drop any amount on anything they want, especially with Grand Theft Auto 6 coming up. But I understand it's been a pinch for a lot of people, and it's pretty hard for me to convince friends to take the plunge when the prices have gone up. I mean, we've seen the standard base model go up to about $749 and the Pro model go up to almost $900. After tax, depending on where you are, that's pretty killer. So yeah, PlayStation's kind of been messing up with that, in my opinion. But I mean, they blame it on chip shortages or tariffs or whatever have you. Either way, it's kind of not looking too good on the consumer end for anybody who does want to get a PlayStation or may want to upgrade to a PS5. It's kind of a bit of a challenge. The biggest thing that has come out from PlayStation just happened this past week, and that was them announcing that they were going to end physical media for the PlayStation, all consoles, starting January 2028. Now, from my understanding on the blog post that they've posted up, and I'll bring that up here on the screen, my understanding is that it's not going to just be physical games moving forward for PlayStation 5, but across all of their PlayStation platforms. So this is going to affect PS4 as well, which I guess maybe that might not be as surprising since the PS4 has been out for quite some time. But they do have companies that still bring out games for both platforms, so that everyone can enjoy it, not just one platform. But yeah, this was a pretty shocking announcement, as I am a pretty huge physical game collector, and I have been that way since the PS1 days, even prior to that with NES and Super Nintendo. My idea of physical games that's just what I do. It's something that I enjoy, and I remember getting gifts from my parents and giving gifts that were always of physical nature. It seems to have more attachment with memories and moments than any kind of digital thing can be. Now, while I do have my opinion on that, it doesn't mean that I'm against people buying digital products. I do recognize that there's a convenience for buying digital. You don't have to have a shelf full of games, too much clutter. It makes things easier. You can jump from one game to another without having to worry about, hey, I got to find this disc on my shelf or anything like that. So I definitely understand the digital portion of gaming and why people enjoy that. And I have no problem with that. I think, hey, if that's how you want to game, that's how you game, and I'm all for it. Because in the end, we can all talk about the same games we played and enjoy that. However, there are a lot of people that are like me that like to actually physically own the game, whether it be just a place on our shelf or share it with friends or whatever. The fact that we can actually go and buy a product, put it in our hands, hold it, and say, hey, I actually want to participate in owning this product or buying it. It's actually something I can physically touch. It's mine now. And I do hear arguments. I've seen the arguments left and right on X and other social medias about some games are they're not fully on the disc, or you're just buying a paperweight and it's just cardboard and plastic that's going to get thrown away anyway. So there's a lot of that, and a lot of those people, unfortunately, are pretty misinformed. There are places like that will give you information like does it play, that will actually show you what games can actually play off a disc, or that don't inquire or acquire patches and other things. They can just play 1.0 right off the disc after you have it install, and you can go from there. I've heard people say that you still have to install it. There's a reason why, because we've stepped away from HDDs and we're now in SDDs, and if you know, or SSDs, if you know what that is, you should know how that medium works. If it installs on there, it can load faster. That's why you get the faster loadings. It doesn't mean that the disc becomes obsolete, because you still need to put the disc in for that thing to recognize you have it. Sure, you can take that as like a form of DRM if you want, but if you don't have the disc, you can't play it. It needs the disc. That's where the data is. It's a difference between digital. But, you know, hey, I don't want to get blue in the face explaining this. If people don't know that, that's on them. I mean, we do have a World Wide Web. There is AI advancements in searching if you need help to do your research on that. So that's out there for people. But yeah, my take on that is I don't agree with it. If that's how Sony wants to play going into the PS6, I will not be moving with them into the PlayStation 6. Despite me having a vast library of games on my PS1 up to PS5, it doesn't matter to me. If anything, I'll just take it as, hey, I could save money. Maybe people will look at it as like I wasn't a true fan, but whatever. I'm just going to chalk it up to being young people out there who are just enraveled in whatever in the new age, newfangled technology. They don't care anyway. But because of something like that, there's a lot of people that feel the same way I do, where we will not move into the PS6. Some people say they kind of hope that Sony brings a disc drive into it or some type of attachment. No, I'm of the mindset where PS5 is literally my last console from PlayStation or Sony. I'm not getting a PS6. I don't care too much about how the new games are going. Spider-Man 2 was fine, but it still was disappointing compared to the first one, so I'm not all excited about wherever that's going to go. I'm not excited about the ending of Horizon. Sony hasn't had too many good games that have come out because of whatever they want to do, and we can relate that to their political correctness of things that have turned me off from their games. I didn't even buy Soros because I just don't care. Most of the stuff that Sony's done first party, it's been so long. I mean, the next title we're getting is Wolverine, which even then that kind of strikes me as being almost like Spider-Man 2, where it might be a little funky in some areas. At least it's getting a physical release, so I'll still give it a shot. But yeah, I'm not really excited or hyped up for that. Most of the stuff that I buy in my collection, that I will show a video of that, most of that stuff is either imports or third-party developers or indies. A lot of companies like Limited Run, IM8-Bit, and things like that will help these indie developers get their games printed on physical, and I want to support them and I want to help them, and I enjoy their content, so I will purchase a physical version of that. I have no problem with doing that. But it seems like PlayStation is cutting that off from not only their first party, but all third party everything. So you can't get physical of anyone's game, which in my opinion hurts all of them. But that's kind of the direction they want to go. So, hey, I'm not going to follow. But yeah, my overall opinion is I don't like that. People can argue with me until they're blue in the face, or say whatever they want about me, call me whatever I want, or whatever they want. I don't even care. I'm just going to continue on my own path and do what I do, regardless of what anyone says, which is how most people should be. Don't care what anyone says, do your thing. So, with that being said, I will talk a little bit about the social media outcry. There has been a huge outcry of people that, from individuals to influencers, all the way up to companies that have seemed to not agree with Sony's direction, have spoken out about it. And with that, there has been a lot of infighting among PlayStation fans, which is kind of weird. I'll share a post of mine that I made showing off my collection. I'm not even going to go into the comments on this. A lot of people did see it, but there was a lot of back and forth. Despite the fact that we're all PlayStation fans, or I hoped we were all PlayStation fans, there's been a lot of, you suck for having this and whatever. I'm not even going to repeat what has been said because some of it's pretty nasty. But yeah, there's just been a lot of weird comments from people attacking my collection or me, and I don't understand. I'm like, well, that's my choice. I, as a consumer, wanted to buy my games physically. That's why you see my collection. If you have a digital collection, hey, that's totally fine. That is really cool. I really don't mind. I don't think a lot of people do mind. We're playing games. But as a consumer, I should have the right to continue to buy the games the way I want to buy them, which is in physical format. I do not buy a lot of things digitally. I can't say that I have not purchased things digitally, because I have, but it's not my main thing. A lot of the time, there's a lot of indie games and things that I do want to support because the developers ask for people, hey, try my game, but you can only get it digitally. So how else am I supposed to support them? And I'll do that. But a lot of these AAA games, a lot of these things that have been kind of going downhill and not really being worth the price tag, they are kind of going a little nuts, especially on the prices that they're asking for and telling you need to buy this game at $70 or $80, and they don't offer a physical version of it. I mean, hey, you spent the budget on making this $100 to $200 million budgeted game or more, depending on who you are, Grand Theft Auto 6. You can at least drop a little bit to make a freaking physical format of it. I can't see how that's a problem. They're going to make all the money back anyway. So yeah, that's my take on that. Speaking of GTA 6, this one is a tough topic, only because everyone has been waiting for this game for a little over 13 years now. The hype was pretty high on it. I imagine it still is pretty high. For Rockstar and Take-Two to have come out and say and do what they did, which was make it digital only, even if you buy a code in the box, which is dumb, I think it's outrageous. I would have probably, as a physical collector and purchaser, would have paid them the $100 for the physical copy of the game. If they wanted to do that and be like, hey, we can't really make it less because it costs us $1 million or $1 billion to make this game, we have to charge you $99 for a physical copy. Hey, you know what? I wanted the game bad enough, I would pay it. Sure. Does everyone want a game that's $99? No. But because of how this game is being released at $99 for the freaking deluxe edition, it seems like a lot of people do. Even if it wasn't physical or digital only, it seems like people would still probably buy it at $100 so they could have everything. So I don't know. My take on that is that I feel that Rockstar and PlayStation kind of worked their magic hand in hand to try to see if they could get people used to buying things digital only, and this may have been a proving point for them to be like, hey, look, everyone's buying GTA 6 at $100 digitally, so why do we need a physical version? Get rid of all of it, because this shows you right now that everyone's going to go and buy a $100 digital only game, which isn't the case, but I guess that's how corporate speak is, and I don't know. Anyone who supports a digital only on that front and likes to, hate on people who like physical things, you guys have mental issues. Something that unfortunately I can't help you with, nor can I persuade you any other way, because it seems like you either like the tongue on the boot or you like it up the rear. I don't know. I guess you can take that however you want. But I don't know. This whole thing has created some kind of division, and it's annoying, and I just want to play games and have fun. And I just want people to enjoy what they do, but I don't want stuff taken away from consumers, because we should have a choice and it's our power. We shouldn't have that taken away by a corporation because they want all the monies. So I'm just going to end it off with my overall thoughts on this. I think the whole thing sucks. Whether Sony reverses course or not, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. I think they're going to go ahead and move forward. Their next console, the PS6, is probably going to be digital only, which I won't be going into that, despite if anyone wants to argue and say that I will not. I'm not going to prove it to you. It's just a lot of other people that will probably be like me and won't do it. But if you want to go into that and that's what you want to do, man, more power to you, everyone. If you like that stuff, cool. That's awesome. I hope you have fun and you digitally get all your games. But with the state of affairs on how your account can be closed after 3 years or for any reason, I don't know if that's something I want to participate in. But yeah, the future isn't looking too great. Maybe for these corporations and people who, take it from the corporations, it probably looks beautiful and fantastic and, I don't know, environmentally protected. Who knows? I don't care. There's so much waste going on in the world right now. A disc is probably hardly anyone's concern or problem, but it seems like there are a select few out there who think that printing a disc is going to instantly kill the entire globe or destroy a whole ecosystem. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I'm not cool with it. I wasn't really originally going to make this into a video. I've been trying to get my channel started and I've been slacking. But hey, I appreciate anyone who listened. I don't know, maybe this will kick me in the butt to actually start making more videos or do something with my life that's that isn't just only video games. I mean, though, if I do mess with the channel, it's going to be video game related anyway, but maybe I'll just do retrospectives or my opinions on games that I own, or do a collection thing or something. I don't know, something that'll at least appease my mind, that'll help me just be happy with gaming no matter what direction it decides to go. Anyway, everyone, I appreciate y'all listening. If you like the video, maybe send a like, maybe a subscribe. I will definitely try to continue to keep this going. Anyway, take it easy. See you in the next one.